I have 11 online business ideas that you can start with less than $1,000. And implementing some of these ideas allowed me to build one of the fastest growing privately held companies in the United States, according to Inc. magazine, starting with less than $500. So you're going to love this video because today what I want to do is cover the two types of business models with low cost and high profit margins, my list of 11 online business ideas, and if you stick until the end, I'm going to share with you a $1 million business strategy that almost anyone can use. Hey there, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I'm Sean, and right now I'm on a mission to help people start, fund, and grow their business. Hey, if you get any value from this video, please make sure you click the like button below. And if you really enjoy it, go ahead and subscribe. And if you do, leave a comment so that I can personally reply to thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get this party started with the two types of business models. So when you're starting a new business, you're going to hear about all types of good ideas. Hey Sean, you should start a dropshipping business. No Sean, you should start affiliate marketing. Nah Sean, this is what you should do. You should do an online course and a lot more. But look, if you're starting a business with less than $1,000, then you want two things, okay? Number one, you want a business with low startup costs and low ongoing expenses. And number two, you want a business with the ability to make a high profit margin. Now, based on my experience, there are two types of business models that allow you to accomplish both. And those are professional services companies and online media businesses. Because when you have a professional service in the beginning, the primary cost is only your time, and anything else you make will be majority profit. For example, if you charge someone $500 for relationship advice, then I would guess your profit would be something like 90% after you exclude maybe some small costs like software expenses. And the same thing goes for online media companies, right? As another example, you can start an online news website as long as you have an internet connection and a smart device, which gives you very low costs. Now, the third business model that works really good as well is selling digital and automated products. But usually this requires more time and more money on advertising, which can significantly reduce your profit margins. All right, so now that we're on the same page with that, let's get into some online business ideas. I'm going to start with some service ideas and then move into some media ones. So let's start with number one. I have online web and media services. I love this area, this business model, because basically every new entrepreneur in 2022 and 2023 needs to have certain digital assets in place in order to run effective online marketing campaigns. So if you're someone who is creative, then for example, you could provide web design services or photo and video editing services and graphic design services and copywriting services, just to name a few. And the startup costs are super low. In most cases, you simply need to learn the skill, whether it's web design, video editing, or graphic design, for example, which you could do for free on YouTube or at most pay about $500 for a course. Then you'll need a website domain name and hosting, which may cost about $150 a year. Then you need a place to showcase your work, which means you may want to build out your own website and buy a template for about $50. Then we'll estimate your LLC costs no more than about $200. And then lastly, you may want some software subscriptions like a business email with Google Suites, bringing your total initial investment to $1,000. But of course, the biggest expense here was the course. So if you already know web design or graphic design or video editing, your initial startup costs could be much less. All right, closely following is business idea number two, virtual management and assistant services. And with this, at the highest level, you're providing management and coordination level services. A great example of this will be someone who is a social media manager, and that person may work with video editors and graphic designers to coordinate publishing schedules and set up advertising campaigns and much more. And the best part, you can start this idea with literally zero initial cost. In fact, Mackenzie Bean started doing social media management as a freelancer so that she could stay at home with her baby, stating, to start this business, there was literally no cost. I already had a smartphone and a laptop that I could use for my client work. Now, once you've proven that you can generate consistent results for people, then you can upgrade to online business idea number 3, become a coach or consultant. Because instead of doing everything for your client, there's a percentage of people who just want to learn how to do it for themselves. And as long as you know how to create a roadmap to success, then there are people that you can teach either one-on-one or in a group setting. And look, online business coaches make millions of dollars depending on how many students they attract and how long they keep their students, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But at some point, while you're helping so many people generate results, then you'll start to think to yourself, hey, instead of giving out all this free advice, I should start using it for myself. And that's what happened to us, right? Like, we were doing digital marketing services for our clients and started coaching our clients. And then we realized, hey, it's time for us to do business idea number 4, start your own blog. Now, I wrote my first blog back in 2013, and today it has turned into a blog that gets hundreds of thousands of visitors every single month. And it hands down was the best way to grow my business from $0 to $300,000 per month in revenue. And the startup costs were definitely less than $1,000. The initial investment looks something like this. Okay, of course you need to learn how to blog, which again, you could do for free or buy a course for about $500. Then you get domain and web hosting for about $150. Then you may want to design your blog and get a template for $50. And of course you need a smart device and an internet connection, which you probably have. And then you can start writing completely free, bringing your total initial investment to $700. Now, I have an entire video where I walk through how to start a blog and make money blogging step by step, which I'll link at the end of this video so you can check it out right after you finish this one. Because to me, blogging is one of the easiest business ideas to start because literally all you have to do is write in front of a screen. Now, personally, once I saw how successful a blog could be, then the natural progression was to move on to business idea number 5 and to start a YouTube channel. We've been making over $20,000 per month on one of my other YouTube channels, and this is one thing I wish I started earlier because I used to run Google ads and YouTube ads for my clients back in 2015, and they used to get crazy good results. But you know who got even better results? YouTubers who also had business models because they were able to get the same amount of organic marketing impressions without spending any money on ads, thus making them even more profitable. And when I started a YouTube channel with my marketing agency and my accounting firm, I noticed the exact same thing. Like, we were able to acquire more clients at a fraction of the cost as similar companies who did not have a blog or a YouTube channel. And the startup costs are light. An initial investment usually includes a camera, which you can get a good camera or a phone for about $500. Then you may need some video accessories like a mic and some lights for about $100. You may want a home studio, which is something you probably can set up for free. And then you also need some editing software, like Adobe has subscriptions for about $50 per month, bringing your estimated initial cost to about $650. But you could also start a faceless YouTube channel where you're just talking over animations and designs or stock footage to further reduce your costs, plus you can remain anonymous. Now, I do have to mention that starting a YouTube channel or even a blog is hard work. It can take 1 to 2 years of consistently making content before the algorithm likes you and people starts to find you online. In fact, the channel you're watching right now is something I started in July of 2022, and I'm not expecting to get any results for quite some time. But subscribe and join my journey because I'm confident by July of 2024, I'll have at least 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, if you have great communication skills, then you can level up even further to business idea number 6 and to start your own podcast. As long as you have something interesting to say, then people will want to listen to you. And this model is very similar to blogging and YouTube, except for the fact that there's a live element to it where you're talking more than likely in real time. And starting a podcast is really affordable because For the most part, you just need a quality microphone, and many people use the Shure SM7B mic, which costs about $400, and something that I have, which I'll link somewhere down in the description below. And you may also need an audio editing software, which again, Adobe has some subscriptions for like $25 per month, bringing the total cost to start a podcast to be about $450. Now, I personally haven't started a podcast yet, but it is something I would really like to do because I know this is another great way to produce content. For now, let's move on to idea number 7, which is to start a business social media page. Chances are you already have a personal social media profile. So you know the initial investment is zero, right? Like anyone can do it. Well, you could also turn this into a profitable business model by starting your own professional pages where you create valuable content for a specific niche. Then you can monetize your page by allowing ads and sponsored content on your page. Now, some people want to stay low-key and hate the idea of being an influencer. Well, that's okay, because the good news is you can start a themed social media page, and this is where you either curate content or post graphics without actually showing your face. Take this Instagram page, for example. It talks about natural home remedies for common health problems, and there's no faces involved. All right, now, once you have mastered media, then you can leverage your audience for other low-cost business ideas like number 8, start your own paid newsletter or membership. Typically, if you have some valuable information like the latest trends in business or a lot of economic data or what's happening in your local community, and you can get that information before anyone else, then people would actually pay to receive it timely. At the same time, if you can create a membership where people get exclusive content or have access to exclusive conversation, then you can charge for that as well. So let's talk about the typical startup costs for a newsletter. Well, obviously you're going to need an email marketing tool, which can be free for your first 1,000 subs, but usually goes up to about $100 once you build up a big enough list. You'll also need some accounting and invoicing software to collect payments, which may also cost about $50 per month. And if you want to have a membership or a community site, they may also cost another $99 per month, depending on the platform you use. So I think the max cost to start a newsletter would be about $250 per month. Now, most email newsletters and communities are completely free. So I would highly recommend you're offering a lot of value if you plan to charge people for it. Otherwise, you're going to have a big problem with retaining members and a lot of turnover. Okay, moving on to business idea number 9, I have digital products. These are products that can be bought and sold online without any physical inventory. Examples of digital products are ebooks, video templates, workbooks, journals, and coloring books, online courses or other exclusive content, downloadable music, recipes and guides, and so on. And since these types of products can be developed one time and hypothetically sold forever, they can be extremely profitable. For the most part, your initial investment would be the cost for developing the product, which if you do it yourself, it can be completely free. But the thing about digital products is that you need a traffic source that will actually drive revenue. This is why I think it pairs really well with media-based businesses. Okay, business idea number 10, and so I don't make this video too long, let's go ahead and throw in business idea number 11, print-on-demand services and drop shipping. So drop shipping allows you to set up an online store with a pre-selection of manufactured products without the hassle of buying inventory, packing products, shipping them out to customers, or hiring a lot of employees. Print on demand is very similar because you can also set up an online store without much hassle, but instead of selecting from manufacturers' products, you are able to print your own designs on physical products like coffee mugs, t-shirts, hats, other clothing, tote bags and backpacks, phone cases, and much more. Now, the cost to set everything up is very inexpensive as well, because for the most part, all you need is a platform like Printify or Shopify, which cost about $30 a month, and then sign up for a marketplace like Etsy or Amazon, which may cost another $50 per month. And then you may also want to do some product research and pay for some real tools for about $50 a month, which brings your total initial cost to about $150 a month. But look, the profit margins on these business ideas are much, much lower, because now you're splitting your revenue with the marketplace, and you're also splitting the revenue with the manufacturer who does the fulfillment. All right, so there's some great ideas for you. Now let's talk about strategy for a second, because if you do any of these business ideas very well, then guess what? You're more than likely gonna generate at least 6 figures or $100,000 in revenue. But if you wanna take this to 7 figures and beyond, then here's a strategy that I've implemented that allowed us to make over $3 million per year and maintain great profit margins. So first, phase number 1, focus on one of the media ideas first, because that's going to allow you to build up your followers and build up your website traffic so that you have demand for phase number 2, one of your service ideas. Because one of the hardest things to do when you have a service is to actually get good paying clients. Sure, you can use a website like Upwork or Fiverr, but you're still competing with thousands of other freelancers all over the world. Instead, you can build up your audience with your own media, then launch one of your services, and you'll likely have people who are already ready to buy. Now, you may spend about 1 to 2 years building up your media and then offering services, but eventually, once you build up your online media presence to the point where you're reaching hundreds of thousands of new people, then you can move on to phase number 3 and charge high prices. Because when you're first starting out, then you need money to survive. So you're more willing to accept a lower paying gig, even if you feel like you're worth a lot more. But when you have hundreds of people emailing you every month, then the tables turn and you can start negotiating from a position of power that allows you to say no and charge much more. But there is a point where you can charge too much for your services that will be detrimental to your ongoing revenue, which means it's time to move to phase number 4 and hire a team. And this is where you can bring on other people who can execute the services for you. And this finally puts you in the owner's seat, the owner's box, where you can manage the business instead of handling the day-to-day responsibilities. However, the real goal is to get into phase number 5 and scale. And this is where you put in processes and systems and people that allow you to run the business without you. Essentially, you can turn your company from an active business into a passive business. Then lastly, you enter phase number 6, which is to invest more into media. After all, this is what got you on your path, and we need to continue it for effective marketing. So the strategy is launch media, create a service, charge high prices, hire a team, scale it, and then invest more into media. All right, now that's some good stuff and something that many people would put inside of a course and charge you for it. But look, I want you to be successful, so there you have it, all for free. Okay, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. Coming up next, I have 2 more videos that I mentioned I will link at the end, so check those out if you haven't already, and I'll see you over there.